They haven't got any of the things I'm good at.
Well, scribble it in then.
I'd prefer you not to deface the poster, thank you very much.
Deface it, I'd decorate it. As a matter of fact, I was thinking of a poetry competition.
Hey, I've read some of your poems. I do the toilets, remember?
Ah, it's not me, Hilda. It's a little fella called Anon. Now you see him, now you don't. He's always nipping in and out.
Oh, well, I think beer.
You always think beer.
There's no competition for beer thinking.
You mean beer drinking?
No, I mean brewing.
Well, put Mrs. Walker out of business. The only way, Elizabeth, in which Mr. Alton could put me out of business would be by poisoning my customers.
Yeah, you're right there, Mrs. Walker. Hey, you know, them round rings is still on the top of our sideboard where the varnish come off last time you made your own beer.
Oh, well, I could have called it vodka, only it was brown, wasn't it?
It was paint remover.
I could feel it.
I really think we should do something to show Victoria Street.
Oh, I don't know, love. We're not very hot on nature study round here, are we?
Oh, I don't know. It's been one of my best years for orchids. The magnolias aren't doing so well, though.
You know, I knew a man in Gateshead once who worked on the dustbins. He pulled all the flagstones up in his back garden and he planted plastic flowers. And when he retired, he used to sit with his feet up and his pipe in his mouth and just look at them.
Watching them grow. I really don't think we're going to beat Victoria Street with plastic flowers.
You're not wrong, Annie. You know, the best thing we can do round here is grow our own knuckle dusters.
Oh, Louisiana, Louisiana, down where the watermelons grow and they've all got knobs on.
Hey, sure.
How's your watermelons going on, Elsie? Ain't you in for a show?
No, love, it's a grapefruit tree at the bottom of our garden.
Where there's at least 4 fellas in Vicky Street got railway allotments, you've no chance, you lot.
Hey, just a minute. Haven't you heard of Albert Greenfinger's Tatlock?
Oh, come on, ladies, you're letting me down. I've just bet £5. You'll be the first 2 to clock out.
Oh, we're very conscientious, aren't we, Ivy?
We are very. Hey, I'll tell you what, if there's a beauty competition at this here show, which one of us will you give first prize to?
Oh, come on, girls. Up you go and water your gardens or something.
Oh, come on, Edna, we know when we're not wanted.
What was all that about?
Oh, this flower show. It's becoming a straight fight between us and Victoria Street.
Oh, I see. Well, have you thought the matter over?
What matter?
Last night?
Oh, yes, I enjoyed it very much.
No, not the meal. My proposition.
I don't remember you making any proposition.
Oh, come on now. You know what I mean.
Oh, yes. Was it nicking the crown jewels or robbing the Bank of England? Well, I thought if I could be waiting outside with a real...
Elsie, keep your voice down. The music stopped.
You mean it?
Why not? Berlin's wife isn't wearing one like this.
Do you blame her?
No, not a bit. Do you know where he is now? He and his child wife in Rome.
You paid.
Like that dress. Cut price.
Jealous?
Well, like I told you, I'm ambitious, but not too ambitious. I don't want villas all over the world, 4 cars, and the money to buy a wife like he's got. No, I'll settle for a quick sprint down the Champs-Élysées and a bottle of bubbly when I'm out of breath.
You'll end up rattling a tin cup in strange ways.
I don't think so. Not with your help. It'll be foolproof. No comebacks.
I still think you're joking.
Not in a million years, and you shouldn't be either. Look, your husband still owes a bit, doesn't he? Well, this could clear it up in no time. And you can't tell me he's all that mad keen about living in the street. He's known better, hasn't he? Well, you could get it back for him again.
I suppose you know I could shop you.
Yes, of course I know.
Inspection? Yes, he is.
Hello? Yeah? Oh, has she? Yes, I'll be right down. Yes, of course you must phone the police. Security caught Sally Turner trying to clock out wearing 4 swimsuits under her dress.
Billy!
Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing this here.
All right, love, I'll lay the table when you're finished.
Hi.
Hi.
Billy, don't disappear again. Your tea's ready.
We haven't gone to too much trouble, Mum. I'm eating out.
Oh, no.
Well, you didn't ask, did you?
But it's ready.
Yeah, well, I'm not. No, I'm eating out.
Best pork fillets. I wonder if Elizabeth would fancy them.
Yeah, she needs filling out a bit.
Better make a pot of tea, then.
Not for me, thanks, Mum.
Well, for myself, perhaps, if you have no objection.
Do you fancy Robert Mitchum?
Who doesn't?
Oh, that's funny, that, because I happen to fancy Ryan's daughter. It's on in town.
I know, I believe it's good.
Yes, I've heard. Do you fancy coming tonight, like, and then perhaps afterwards we could grab a meal?
Oh, I'd love to. It's something I've always...
Billy, the barrel wants changing, love.
Yeah.
No, now, love, but Stan Ogden's bellowing like a bull.
All right, I'll be out there in a minute. I won't be long. That's great, because it won't take me a minute to...
I said I'd love to, but I can't.
Why not?
I'm meeting two of my friends, girls in the hospital.
Oh, can't you put them off? Tell you we've got a rich uncle coming from Texas.
I'd love to, honest, but I can't. Oh, I must be going. They'll be waiting.
Lorna gone?
Yeah.
You know, she really is a lovely girl, Billy.
So you keep telling me, Mum. And you know what? For once, I think you're right. Now, do you know what I want? Me tea. All right, so I've changed my mind. I'm hungry.
I've had a look at them frames.
What frames?
Hey, have you got no cake?
I've got a bit of sponge.
Ah, tar. Help to soak the tea up, any rope.
What frames are you talking about?
Them chaps in Victoria Street have on their allotments. You know, if we're not careful, they're going to outflank us with the cucumbers.
It's not the Battle of Waterloo, you know.
Hey, you're not supposed to say that word. Now we're going into common market. According to them over there, it was froggies dressed as British. What beat the British, what was dressed as froggies. They're going to rewrite history books. Anyway, we'll have to watch out for their cucumbers.
You can't talk sense. Fill your mouth with sponge cake. Come in.
Hello there. Oh, cup of tea for me, have you, Mrs. Sharples?
I suppose so. Get yourself a cup.
I've got some good news.
Oh, you mean that pay rise I put in for?
No, well, that'll have to go through the normal channels. No, it's the flower show.
It's been cancelled.
Well, hardly, but I can tell you so much. I think it's going to be better than we hoped.
I'll have another bit of cake.
We managed to rope in the Parks Committee. They're sending one of the best fellas around tomorrow.
Well, what for?
Well, to organise it.
Organise what?
The flaming flower show. What else?
They didn't look very far, did they?
Eh?
He means him.
You?
Well, now you come to mention it, yeah. I know as much about allotments as anybody. Come to think of it, I know a lot more than most.
Help yourself to sugar.
Ta. Well, now, we hope you're going to cooperate with this fella.
Oh, that won't be necessary. All he's got to do is cooperate with me.
How is she?
Who?
Sally Turner.
Oh, she's just gone with the police.
Oh, poor devil.
But don't feel sorry for her. For one thing, she shouldn't have got caught. And for another, we don't want competitors.
We?
Yes, think it over.
I've thought it over.
And think it over carefully. We're on to a winner. Hey, look around you. Is this what you really want? See you tomorrow.
Morning.
Morning, love.
Any post?
It's a bit early yet, dear. Were you expecting some?
Sort of. Still, never mind. I'll go up and get dressed first. Perhaps he'll have come by then.
Of all people, fancy meeting you here.
You're up early, Billy.
Yes, well, I thought I'd catch the dawn.
Well, that was 4 hours ago.
Oh, nobody tells me these things.
Couldn't be, could it, that you heard Lorna up and about?
It's funny you should say that, Mum.
You know, Billy, I think you could do worse.
Well, I don't think I could do better.
Yep. Hello. How's your imagination today?
My imagination? Same as it always was.
So you don't see this as a sun lounge in Mallorca?
No. Just a warehouse canteen.
Have you thought things
Oh, excuse me, Sarah. I'm sorry, the buyer's been on and she's out of stock of those 395s and she wants us to pass as many as possible.
Oh, all right.
Morning, sir.
Morning, Abby.
Get the rails into the room as quickly as you can. I'll be down in a moment.
Hey, I've been looking at them posters for this here show. I think I'm going to have a go at cake decorating. They say way to a man's hearts through his stomach, don't they?
Ivy, do as you're told and get those rails in quickly, will you?
Yes, Mrs. Sarah.
As I was saying...
I heard.
Well?
I was too busy thinking about other things. That poor girl. For the sake of 4 lousy swimming suits.
Yes, I can understand how you feel. You've been through the same experience, haven't you?
You're never going to let that drop, are you?
Don't worry. The reference is no longer in the file. Just up here.
That's why you took me on when Paul had turned me down. I suppose it's no good saying I was innocent, is it?
Of course you were. We're all God's innocent creatures, but God helps those who help themselves and don't get caught.
Well, I'll tell you something, Mr. Maxwell. I'm not going to get caught. Not by you, not by anybody, because I'm not going to get involved. And I'll tell you something else. As far as I'm concerned, you can pin that flaming file of mine up on the notice board for all the world to see.
Another cup, dear?
Oh, a dang. Clinic starts in half an hour.
Post come. Oh, he's a brassy devil, that postman. Here, Mrs. Walker. One from you, from your Joni. It's her handwriting. And one for you, Chuck, from Lamington. That'll be your mum and dad, will it?
Oh, thanks.
All right. Oh, we want some more disinfectant blocks.
Thank you, Hilda. Aren't you going to open it?
Oh, no, I'll leave it till later.
She's right. It is from Joni.
Seems such a long time since I last saw her. How is she?
Oh, she's very happy, very settled. She's been married 10 years, you know. She could have had a career, our Joni could have very good career. Still, she never regretted getting married, not for a moment.
Who wants to be a career girl anyway?
Do you feel that way too?
One night out each week with the girls doesn't make up for a home and family, does it?
Oh, I'm delighted. I mean, how delightful. What a delightful thought.
As a matter of fact, Auntie Annie.
Yes, dear?
There's something I'd like to tell you.
Oh, yes.
Oh, not now. I've got 6 patients on my list. I don't want to tell you and then dash off.
Of course not.
So if you're not too busy at lunchtime...
I won't be, I promise.
All right, then. Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Mrs. Sharples. Mr. Greenwood.
Oh, yes.
Parks and cemeteries.
I see. And which you're representing today?
It's about the flower show here.
Oh, aye.
I'll be over the road. I might see you there.
Don't leave him too long, he might take root.
George Greenwood, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, you're the fellow they've sent to assist me, are you?
Well, I am the assistant park superintendent.
Oh, are you? Well, it's high time you did something about them toilets in Alexandra Park.
Yes, well, I'm more on the horticultural side, Mrs. Sharples. But I'll remember what you said.
Yes, do, because I can't forget them.
Anyway, here I am.
You don't look much like an assistant park superintendent to me.
Consider the lily, Mrs. Sharples.
I'm considering you.
I'm just a simple fellow that knows his plants and flowers. As I think someone on this street might tell you.
How the flipping heck can I give it a name when I don't know what it is?
I'll call it something that sounds like Latin, that means stands gloria.
What's this, Hilda?
A plant.
Oh, yes.
In a pot.
I see.
On a scullery window.
It comes up every year, you know.
Trouble is, you see, we don't know what to call it because we don't know what it is.
Might I suggest Ogden's Pride?
Oh, yeah. Hey,
That's an
good.
idea. Let's go and have a look at it.
Hey, hear them?
Who?
Well, them two has just gone out, talking about flipping agriculture.
Well, I wasn't listening.
Well, they know nothing about it. I bet they don't know a begonia from a horseradish.
Ah, perhaps it wasn't a very good idea holding a flower show around here. A few weeds growing in the gutter, that's about the nearest we'll ever get to the Garden of Eden.
Hey, reeds are very underrated.
You know, I've been meaning to ask Len for a long time now to put me a glass frame in the backyard. I wouldn't mind growing a bit of coltsfoot or some sorrel. Or some rosemary. Oh, still. Maybe I'd better wait till I get my country cottage. No, I think a flower show's wrong.
What?
Now, a musical festival, that'd be something.
Oh, you've got something there, Maggie.
Do you think
Clay.
so?
Yeah, a brass band. This place could do with a brass band.
Well, no, I wasn't
Excuse
exactly-
me just 1 minute.
Roses are red, violets are blue, and Daisy wears tights. He knows his flowers, this
Very good.
Len, that gentleman I saw you taking into the centre just now.
George Greenwood.
That's the name. It was on the tip of my tongue. Does the name George Greenwood mean anything to you?
Well, he's not on my list of fellas that owe money for drinks.
No, but he's on somebody's list. Well, perhaps I shouldn't tell you.
Whose list?
Mrs. Ogden's.
Give over.
Oh, yes, some years ago.
Like an affair.
Far be it from me to say there was anything wrong, but...
Of course not.
Well, still, none of my business.
No, none of mine.
Not a word.
Hey, our kid. Does the name George Greenwood mean anything to you?
As it appears, there is to be no poetry competition in this show. I have decided to go in for the next best thing, carrots and turnips. So will you save any big carrots and turnips you come across? I'll buy them off you.
Hey, you're supposed to grow them yourself.
Doesn't say out about that on the poster, it just says vegetables.
Ray Langton, are you asking me to cheat?
Now, it's funny you should say that, because I do have a little scheme in mind I'd like you to assist me with.
Not interested.
Well, there's no harm in hearing what I've got to say. I'll tell you what, I'll come round the shop when you're quiet. I think you might change your mind when I tell you what it's about.
Yeah, but she was caught for pinching.
Yes, and only last week a girl was stopped going through the gates with 4 underskirts under her dress.
Maybe she felt the cold.
I bet she did when she got to the police station. That's the 4th in 3 weeks.
Well, what's your point?
Just that there's temptation for the girls over there.
Why?
Because the stuff's lying around under their noses all the time.
But it doesn't give them an excuse to pinch it. I mean, look at bank clerks.
Do you know what I reckon?
What do you reckon?
I reckon if you're dishonest, you'll pinch anything from anywhere. And if you're honest, you can find £1,000 in the gutter and take it straight down to the police station. Depends how you're born.
Alf, can we have a word with you in the snug?
If you buy me a pint, aye.
Yeah, get 3 pints in the snug, will you?
Hello.
Mrs. Walker, could I have 3 pints, please? Charge them up to Leonard, and we'll be in the snug.
I don't know.
The flower show.
Oh, aye. What you entering? Buttercups?
Nothing, no. But it seems to me that they'll need stands, stalls, and platforms.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
£3, Len.
Yeah, he ordered them.
By proxy.
Oh, right.
Now, what my partner means is that we
Thank
are
you very much.
exhibition
Not very
experts. Nobody makes better exhibitions than we do.
And you're trying to bribe me with a pint of beer?
No. When the job is done, mate, when it's done and it's paid for by Fairclough and Langton, there might be another pint of beer in.
I'd have thought a bottle of scotch, if no toast.
Well, as we're old friends.
Right, lads. Start first thing in the morning.
Roberts, would you accept this on the house?
Well, never let it be said I was a proud man, Mrs. Walker.
Well, I couldn't help hearing your conversation with Len and Ray. I mean, who better to provide the accessories for the flower show than people just on the doorstep?
You mean you'd like to do the light refreshments?
Well, we have a large range of minerals and crisps, and you'd have no transport problems, would you? Well, they're just across the road.
Well, you've got a point there.
I've brought you this, Mr. Roberts. Well, you've bought me 1 or 2 drinks in the past, and I've never bought you one back.
You wouldn't be after the same thing as Mrs. Walker, would you? Light refreshments.
Well, I'd have thought the corner shop has as good a selection, if not better, than the Rovers. And our lemonade is half a new penny cheaper.
I raised the subject first, Mrs. Clegg.
Well, don't you think the decision should rest with Mr. Roberts, Mrs. Walker?
Well, come on then, Solomon. What have you got to say?
Only this. Isn't it nice when you're flaming corrupt?
May I join you?
If you want to slum, you'll slum.
I hear you're having trouble with our lady buyer. Oh, I see. You're not talking.
Doesn't seem to be anything much to talk about, does there?
Elsie, forget it. Forget I said anything at all to you. You were right. I was joking.
You know, I've heard a lot of jokes like that in my lifetime. I'm not able to laugh anymore.
I'll tell you something. This steak's quite tender.
What have you been up to?
Come again?
I'm asking you what you've been up to. I bet he's been flogging insurance stamps.
What are you talking about exactly?
Oh, come on, Dennis. Where's your sense of humour? Now, Arthur Smith's had a call from head office. Get the red carpet out. Marcus Berlin's coming up tomorrow. Says he wants to see you.
Me? What about?
Don't ask me, old boy. Just said he wanted to see you, that's all.
And I thought I was a good judge of character. Oh, well. You can't win 'em all. Thank you, Mrs. Howard.
Well, I'm interested now now. Will it be one of my special interests, like?
What I'd like to know is whose bright idea was it holding a flower show round here?
Well, what's wrong with that? You never know what's growing in folks' backyards.
Hi, Gum. You're right there.
21 this year, my lad.
Ooh, we've never been kissed.
Not if he takes after his father. Cracky, I've kissed him. I bet he's married before you know it.
Hello, darling. Now then, if he marries a little dolly bird like that.
Oh, Billy, you are slipping, lad. Pretty thing like that living under the same roof.
Hurry up with that pint, will you, Ben?
See, changing the subject then.
Oh, I'm thirsty, ain't I?
You're something else to know. Did you see his eyes as she went through? I think you're in love, mate.
Oh, leave him alone.
I can hear wedding bells if you can't. Who's going to be best man, Len, you or me?
Neither. I've got you two down for bridesmaids.
Hey, come on, tell us the truth. Are you serious?
Busy morning?
Yes, very busy, but nice.
Good. Well?
Pardon?
Well, you told me not to be too busy at lunchtime, and here it is lunchtime, and I'm not too busy.
Oh, yes.
You were going to tell me something. Now you've changed your mind?
Oh, no. I want to tell you more than anyone else in the world, except my parents, and they'll know in a week.
No, what then?
Do you promise not to tell us so? Promise?
Of course I promise.
I'm expecting a letter any day now from Zambia to tell me someone's coming home. My mother and father don't know about it yet. It's someone I met a year ago before he went out. And now he's coming back. And we're going to be married.
Married?
Yes.
I tell you what, then you get him a cheap pram, and I know where you can get wholesale nappies.
Oh, shut up, will you, Len?